Hello, hello. How we doing, everyone? Hey, Bloodbag, how's it going? Hope we're doing well. Yeah, bit of a different stream today. We're not going to be on for very long. Well, I say not very long. ALPD. Yeah, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. I shot Matt a DM like 3, 4 days ago to give him some content for Streamathon because he was saying he was doing like interviews and stuff, and I was like, well, we've done an interview before, but why don't we do something different? You know, the new bill's just come out, Watkins Glen's coming up, so why don't I kind of help you out a little bit with a coaching session on stream? It could be interesting for some people. So yeah, he came back today and was like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I guess we'll see how this goes. I've never streamed a coaching session before, so you guys will get to see it from my perspective, and obviously you can watch Matt's perspective as well and see it from there. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be really cool, really really cool. I think we're gonna try and do like a co-stream as well to try and like merge everyone together in the chats. I've never done one before, so I'm not fully sure how it works, but that's the plan. Got Matt stream on in the background, just seeing. Let's put up a hosted session. Shoot him a quick message. Yo, how's it going, Craig? So Matt's got the timings confused because he told me 9 p.m. my time and he just said an hour and 10 minutes. Oh my god, I've just put a message in and people are gifting subs, so they're not going to see it. I think Malone realizes what he's done. He sent me a message and it said 9 p.m. Yeah, he's just realized he's fucked up. It's meant to be now, LPD. I don't really have to reschedule with a client because Malone's fucked the time up. I have to give subs. I would if I could. Might move. Okay, we're good, we're good. Yeah, I think we're good, I think we're good. No, I'm not watching Lamar, no. That's boring. So yeah. I think he's gonna call me on video call. But if I'm streaming on OBS, it can't use that camera as well. Matt's throwing me a curveball here. Right. Uh, right. Let me mute Malone real quick. Um, yeah, my camera isn't working on Discord because it's been used on OBS. Yo, LPD, thanks for the prime, man. Appreciate it. I've got my pedal cam that I could like flip round. Might have to do that. I've got it on like an arm. Ah, shit. Depends on the weather, Flynn. Depends on the weather, yeah. Open set in VRS conditions, it was high 43, low 44 for GT Sprint. If you use IMSA conditions, I think it's mid to high 44s, roughly. Right. Oh, time to completely undo. Ah, my cable doesn't reach in the way I've routed it. Malone has fucked me. Big time. God damn it. Now what? Ah. Oh, boys. In Windows settings, you can allow cam to be used by multiple apps. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait. Okay, okay. Hang on. Oh, fuck. Okay, my pedal cam's like hanging off. Hold up. Let me retighten that. It's just pointing at the back of one of my screens now. Yo, how's it going, Ahmed? Windows settings, Bluetooth and devices, cameras, advanced settings, click edit. Please close the other application before changing camera settings. Ah, bro. Stressing now. Stressing. Only way to watch Malone is on mute. Wow, that's toxic. Right. Bear with me. This is a really janky start to the stream. Right. This might be really close to me. A little bit closer than the other one. Oh my god, this is stressful. Right, hang on. So I now need to disable the pedal cam. How do I disable it? Properties. Deactivate. Right. Then I can go into Discord. Select that camera. Test video. And it works. Alright, sweet. It's not great. The angle. Cable is like super stressed. Oh wait, hang on, if I do that, there we go. Oh my god, this looks terrible. Oh my god. Why is it loose? What's going on? What here is loose? The whole clamp? Oh my god, bro, swear to god. That's gonna be the death of me. How do I make this fucking camera refocus? It's so bad. Oh my god. Malone has done me so dirty here. So we're going to be doing Watkins Glen and a GT3. Bring Discord down just so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, this camera's... That angle actually looks okay if I can just get it to refocus. Right, if I just turn the test off. Right, let's turn the music off. Malone's ready. Let me run one more test on this camera. Make sure we're good. Test video. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put just my main screen on so you guys can hear Matt. I haven't got it set up on my face cam thing. Yeah. Hello, hello. I can hear you. You hear me? Fantastic. Let me set up my noise compression real quick. There we go. Yeah, no worries. I've got my stream running at the moment, but it's all botched because I've had to I had a pedal cam, and basically I've had to completely flip it around and try and set it up as like a face cam for us, so that you can see me because my other cam's being used on OBS. So it's just, yeah, I'm not a pro streamer yet, to say the least. Yeah, no worries, man. Cheers. Yeah, good to see you, man. Long time no speak, but yeah, it's good to be back. So yeah, essentially, I started iRacing in like 2014 or so. Started out as an oval driver, just sort of doing it for fun, and yeah, it was just sort of yeah playing it for fun, and then I realized that um there was money up for grabs in like world championships and things like that, and I started watching it on YouTube, and I thought, you know what, I kind of want to get into that. 2016, gave it a go and qualified in for the World Championship, and I've been doing pro esports since the start of 2017. Basically, I've done most of my career on iRacing, but I spent obviously like a 3 year term on Rensport. I've not long got back onto iRacing at the start of this year, and yeah, so far enjoying my time back on iRacing. A lot's changed since I left, and since we kind of last spoke. I think that's when we last kind of caught like, sort of touch base is when Rensport started up and everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, coming back to iRacing, it's been yeah quite an adjustment. A lot has changed.
Yeah, now with esports and stuff, it does follow kind of a parallel of real life motorsports where you're looking for sponsors and looking for a way in, but ultimately you still have to perform, right? I mean, so how does that work? Like, if somebody out there wanted to get into esports, where do they even start?
Good question. I mean, you know, the, um, within the esports stuff, which it's understandable, but for us drivers, it's frustrating. But at the moment, I think that probably the best way of getting in is just working on your craft in official races, trying to get noticed because top teams are always kind of looking at official races and seeing how people are getting on. They'll always have a few guys who are scouting around or watching Twitch streams, and they might just see you pop up one week and you're winning 5, 6,000 SOFs or whatever, and that sometimes that can be enough to kind of get a foot in the door. But yeah, esports right now is in a really tricky spot. Um, it's it's something I've spoke about quite a lot this year on streams and on YouTube and things like that. I don't know exactly how to fix it. So if you want to get into esports right now, well, I'd probably say practice right now, but then 2027, I'm hoping it'll be a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I do the watch parties and stuff for the NASCAR esports thing, and I think one of the biggest issues with esports broadcasts and every that is that there's just not enough character development. Like the eNASCAR thing does it really well, where they have the camera on the drivers. They do little like hit pieces on the drivers, like, "Hey, this guy's doing this one week or whatever," and like you become invested in the drivers because you get to know them. And I think it benefits hugely that people stream their race. Like you stream on Twitch, get your face out there. People get to know you. They have somebody to root for. Like the viewer watching esports, they need a reason. They need for someone to root for, and I
Yeah.
think that the human aspect of that is what some of it's missing. Do you see a change in that, some of the esports stuff that you're doing, where they're trying to get more of the human element in? Is that even a topic? Or is it
Um,
just all about speed and sponsors and you know
I mean, like from the team's standpoint, there's no sort of pressure from the teams to elevate your sort of social following as such. There might be teams out there that do, but of all the ones I've been associated with, they're not typically bothered. I think that you're seeing it quite a lot this year with not just myself, but you've got. I think that you're seeing it quite a lot this year with not just myself, but you've got a lot of esports guys who have started releasing content. They're doing more streaming. They're doing YouTube videos, and it's because there's not much esports stuff on, so a lot of our time is freed up now to do more social media and build a bit of a following and things like that. And I think it is really important that people understand who's actually in the races because you'll know yourself, obviously, from watching Pesk and the Coke series and everything else, that especially when I was in Pesk, there was very little personality kind of shining through on the broadcast. It was literally just names in a car. You got a 30-second interview after the race, and then it sort of moved on. And that's always how it's been. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. There should be something should be done. Like a drive to survive type thing, but obviously like within
right?
the
within
limitations that we
reason.
have.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There should be more drama, more beef, more arguments. You know, I want to see people having
Yeah.
virtual fist fights and stuff. You know, like cursing each other out on social media. There's not enough. There's not enough beef. You know, it needs to be. It needs to be exciting.
Sure, sure. And so, tell us just a little bit about what you are doing. You got the Twitch stream going on. You compete as best as you can with whatever esports stuff pops up, I assume, as well. And then now with the coaching, tell us a little bit about the coaching.
Yeah, so coaching was the first thing I got up and running when I got back onto iRacing. Basically, I was left in a situation where I had a contract to race Rensport for this year for 2026, and you know we got told a couple of days before Christmas that we were going to be released at the end of January, and Rensport was no longer going to be at the World Cup, and the team I was with were going to pull out, and it basically went from having a normal esports job and then all of a sudden having absolutely nothing. So I was like, right,
Right.
first things first, we go back to iRacing. You know, I kind of lock in and I set up coaching. And you know, it's something that I'd done in previous years, working with setup shops and things like that. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to just go alone. It's the only hope I've got of paying the bills and continue being able to continue to do what I love as a career. So yeah, coaching was where it landed. I had a couple people that I used to coach years ago that I reached out to try and get things started, and yeah, the streaming along with the coaching has been a massive part of the business that I've kind of built up now, and I've started doing data packs as of like last week as well, and that's something that every pro driver has to do now is do data packs. There's no teams that are offering enough money through salaries to just do racing and that's it. So
Explain what a data pack is then.
so yeah, data packs are basically what you get from like VRS, Go Setups, IMO, you name it, all the different setup shops. You get your setups in there. You get a telemetry file, B laps, O laps. You know, depending on what shop you go with, you get like track guides included as well. So obviously you'll know yourself with the VRS and stuff. You can get like the actual track guides with commentary over the top, or with Go, you get the cockpit videos up on their YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, that's the data pack. Our job is to follow the official schedule week to week. We get assigned certain cars at the start of the season, and our job is to go and build the the fastest setups that we can, but obviously within reason. Like if I was to just build an esports setup that I would drive and post it up onto VRS, they're going to be inundated with complaints because no everyone's spinning with it, you know. So it's quite a tough balance to kind of strike, you know, to try and make it competitive, but also make it approachable for people of all kind of skill ranges.
Yeah, I noticed that with I use Go, and they have an esports version of a setup and then a safe version of the setups. And sometimes depending on the track, if I'm not very good, I try the esports version. I'm like, I better go with safe on this
Yeah,
one, before you really get the handle of it. So that makes a lot of sense. That is so cool. Now I understand that you've agreed to kind of help me out here. We got the big Watkins Glen race coming up, a special iRacing event coming up. And I don't know how we're going to get in there if you do the session or whatever, but live on stream now, viewers, listen, chat, listen. I'm going to get live coaching here, live on the stream here at Watkins in preparation. Now I think our team did decide to do the Corvette, just so you know, Kevin.
perfect.
Yep, and and I do love the Corvette. It works out for me for most tracks. Some tracks that just like what the hell's going on here, and I got to switch to something else. But yeah, I am about to be exposed here live on stream as a horrible driver. And as we kind of get to some of that set up and stuff, can you talk about some of the people that you coach and maybe they have like ingrained horrible habits that have been ingrained in them for years because they just stream on the internet and have fun racing? Is it hard to like to get someone to be like, hey, like you need to relearn this, like you almost need to rewire your muscle memory, and
Yeah,
that can be hard, right?
yeah. This is a really common thing that we see with guys who reach out and say, you know, I'm stuck at this I rating. It could be 1.5K, it could be 3K, you name it. It could be anywhere, and they'll say that they're stuck at a certain level and they can't quite like break through this barrier, and they're kind of stuck. So what I'll say to you is basically what I say to everyone else is when we get into the session, we will do 5 laps at the start just so that I get a gauge of where you're at and we cover all the basics. the first thing I like to look at is your racing lines. So your car positioning, where your apex, and then your track usage on the exit. That's like the first port of call for me is what I'm going to be checking. And another thing as well is the way to I look at improving is like building a house. So obviously we want the foundations to be flat so that you can build the house high. If you've got wonky foundations, the house is going to collapse, and the house collapsing kind of represents you plateauing with iRating, right? So
Hmm.
the first layer of that foundation will be the racing lines. As I say, your car positioning, where your apex and your track usage on the exit, all that kind of stuff. And then it moves into like braking points, where you're picking up throttle, how much steering lock you're using, and we gradually layer it up and layer it up depending on where you're at. For yourself, for the most part, racing lines will probably be okay. So we'll kind of advance through that first stage quite quickly. But again, we'll do the first 5 laps, see roughly where you're at, and get a gauge for that. And then yeah, it should be uh, fairly straightforward after that. Um,
Okay. Okay.
I can basically, that's the other thing, just to touch on your other point that you said as well, is like trying to get people to unlearn the bad habits is a really tricky one, because a lot of people think
Right.
that coaching is just like a golden ticket to going
Right. Right.
a second a lap quicker. A lot of times there's like years worth of repetition in there and muscle memory, and you've got to kind of give them the information about what they can improve on and show them how to do it properly, but then it's up to them after the session to go and like do their homework and try and actively work on it, right? So
Right.
yeah, that's probably the hardest part, is giving them enough information so that when they go away on their own, they're not falling straight back into the bad habits that they had.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I mean, and listen, just be perfectly blunt with everybody. Like I've been doing iRacing for so long. I do have bad habits, but I'm also running the stream and everything. But sometimes I get locked in, and I think can do pretty well sometimes, but nothing like the top split guys. And I think
Yeah,
no matter what skill, what skill level you're at, I think like you said about the plateauing, like I've definitely plateaued, if not decreased a little bit, and like I think I'm about a 4K driver. It doesn't always reflect that, but I'm always bouncing around to different stuff. But there's definitely some ingrained stuff that I need to like relearn. And but any type like somebody like you can take a 1K driver and you know how to communicate like to a 1K driver, but also communicate probably to a 5K driver because they're different levels.
yeah,
So you need you as a coach, you have to adapt to who you're teaching too, right? And that's a big part of it,
yeah, 100%. I find
right?
that the people who are harder to coach are the quicker guys. So
Hmm.
I had a
Hmm.
client who was 6,500 I rating, somewhere in there, and he went out and done laps, and I'm sitting watching him, and I'm like, right, okay, everything looks pretty good, but he's just like
Yeah.
4 or 5 tenths off, and that's really when we had to utilize like telemetry within Motec and things like that to
Right.
sort of pinpoint the minute time losses that were sort of adding up. It wasn't a case of he was just doing 2 corners wrong and that was half a second. It was like
Mhm.
3 to 5 hundredths every corner throughout the lap. So there was just one part of the fundamental was wrong, and it turned out it was just how he was applying the brake. He was applying the brake too quickly, then coming off too quick, and that basically led to yeah, just like a gradual loss throughout the course of the entire lap.
Okay. Okay. And a lot of it is too is just like different concepts too to rethink kind of what you're doing and
Yeah,
be able to have almost like homework to be like boom 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 work on these couple things and to kind of take with you. And that's what I'm hoping to get out of this is like get some key aspects of different areas and be like, all right, something to work on. Remember what Kevin said. Okay, remember Kevin said this here and okay, but we can jump into a session. How does this work? You walk me through it and we'll get in and start running some laps, huh?
yeah. So I've sent you the password on Discord. It's just a random mumbo jumbo of numbers, so nobody can type like 1, 2, 3 and get in. So we're nice and secure that
Right.
way. But yeah, it'll be a hosted server. I've just got the testing conditions that I used for my data packs, just so that I've got like a reference time. Um, you can use whichever setup you're most comfortable with, whatever you want to drive. If you want some setup advice in the server as well, we can do that. That's absolutely fine. But
All right.
yeah, the first thing we'll do when you get in is we'll do like 5 laps, kind of see where you're at. As I say, we'll evaluate the lines. I'll have a quick look at the break points and stuff as well. But yeah, my main focus is just getting the lines absolutely spot on. before we start
Yeah.
adding it. Because if you try and add speed on top of bad lines, you're just going to go flying off the track. So
Sure, sure, sure. Okay, I'm loading in now, and I can use whatever setup that I want. I gotta go setup. I mean,
yep.
it's usually how that works, right? Okay, great.
I tried.
And
I actually tried doing the. I've requested that co-stream thing just where we do the driving part, and then I will jump off. Oh, what does that mean? I don't know how this co-stream thing works. I
oh,
will be
right, right,
honest.
right, right, right. I will jump on there real quick. I forgot about it. Let's see. Yeah,
Appreciate
if
you.
I
It's just so I think it's so that your chat comes through on my end as well, and then if people have
yeah,
questions, I
makes so.
can like answer them.
I seen that your 4.99 safety rating and like 9K.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get caught up. I got kind of left behind whilst I was off on Ren Sport. I got left behind with iRating. So all right, I got
Okay.
the.
I think we should be good on that. Shared chat.
Do I click leave and join this session or stay in current session?
Leave and join probably. Because I think I just in.
It says joining Matt Malone. I'm yeah, much better at driving than I am Twitch. Twitch is too complicated for my my little peanut brain. Yeah, we had a good week a couple weeks ago. I managed to get like 300 irate or so. Oh, it's just disappeared now. Here we go, joining Matt Malone.
There we go.
They do not make this easy, do they?
No, they really don't.
It's stuck on Johnny Matt Malone. Oh god.
Hold on, hold on. All right, I sent an invite. That might pop up.
I click join. Twitch is not wanting me to do this. Try sending me another invite. I think what happened was it went through the first time, and then when I clicked leave and join session, it kicked me out,
Hmm.
which is suboptimal.
Action already taken. The host or another mod just performed that action. Oh well, it should.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we broke it.
Oh, are you using Chrome?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Let me end it. Restart stream.
Okay, it gives me the option to knock now, whatever that means. Will I click it or you want to click it? I don't want to break it.
Go ahead and click it.
If I click knock, something went wrong, please try again.
Uh,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Second time's a charm. I've sent it. You should have a request. Hey, there we go. Oh, it says you rejected it.
I didn't. I swear. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh god.
Oh my god. I love technology. Oh wait, I see. Try knocking again.
All right. Sent. Fourth time's the charm. Come on.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
It's working. Let's go.
Hey. Yeah, that was easy.
First time.
Follow me for more tips.
Yeah, it's on in my chat. Say subscribe for further tech support. That is not advisable. All right.
All right. I'm
So
gonna grab the set. I'm gonna go just regular race esports is what I would usually use, and then just start doing laps.
you crack on and do some laps. Yeah, if you do want to do any telemetry review, just make sure you've got your telemetry login, and then you can send me that through Discord, and we'll have a look at that.
Oh. Well, we'll maybe keep it to basics for now. I don't know if we'll have time for that.
Yeah, it's all good. No problem.
Okay. So yeah, so you're going to be doing the Watkins 6 hour then? How does that work for the super high I rating guys?
So for us, I've actually been without. Well, I got into Drago for like a month, and then Drago basically ceased to exist. So I've been left without a team since then. But I've been working pretty hard behind the scenes to kind of pull together a group of some kind and start a team of our own. Can't say who's running it, who's a part of it, or any more than that. All I will say is that Watkins Glen, there will be a new team in top split on the grid, and I'll be there, hopefully at the front, not, away at the back. Hopefully we don't off-track quali. Turn one is turn one's always a scary corner, but we'll try and get through there. Yeah, I mean for us in top split, it's just a case of surviving really, and just driving flat out for 6 hours. There's no management really. It's just
how crazy is the qualifying for those special events, because it's like you have to perform right then and there. Like you get your 2 laps, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, is that tough? You practice a lot for that, just for that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of work goes into the mental side of things. So, especially with how this tire model sort of works its way in iRacing, especially in qualifying, you don't really get 2 laps. You have 2 laps you can drive, but there's only 1 lap that is actually competitive. It's very rare that you can get the tires into the window after lap 1 to then have 2 pushes of equal speed. Like the first one will either be the quickest, and then the second will be miles off, or it'll be vice versa. So, yeah, basically every single quali for us is a one-shot. Like it's a one and done. That's it. So yeah, there's a lot of training goes into like the mental side of things, trying to utilize like breathing exercises and whatever people tend to use just to stay calm. There's some people don't need to do anything, but there's some people who like to do breathing exercises, stretching, going on a walk, going to the gym before the race. You name it, anything that works just to keep the heart rate down and the brain clear. That's it.
Dang. So they've been running GT3 here at Watkins, part of week 13, but it's been the cup layout.
I've seen
and
that.
Everyone's mad. Everyone's mad, and they're like, "Well, how am I supposed to practice for the 6 hours? Because all the track limits are completely different."
Yeah, I've seen that. The cup layout is insane. Like the track limits just don't exist. It's hilarious.
How much do you like protect your I rating? Like, do you have a Smurf? Do you like jump around on some public just for fun, or?
So I didn't have a Smurf until about 6 weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, my I ratings, like by an esports standard, is very low. Like, if you compare it to like all the other guys that I race against on a regular basis, everyone's sort of 10, 11,000 I rating. So rocking up as a 9k is a little bit low, and there's actually risk that I could drag a car out of top split because my I rating's not high enough. Like I think the number 24 was like a 9.7k SOF. Like, and that was across the GT3 car class. So with like a 9,000 I rate, and if the average is 9.6, it's pretty close. So if you have someone in your team who's like that, you start finding that they need to manipulate the lineups and put you with the highest I rated guy. So I was quite lucky. I was teammates with Johan Harth, who's like 11.7k or something like that. So he could sort of get me in. But yeah, I was like, I can't afford to just turn up and do races every day and have fun with it, because one mistake, it's 180 down the drain, and then for sure like, we're not going to be top split in the next event, and I need to sit it out and watch from the sidelines just purely because my I rating's not high enough. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of protection.
How do you get it higher up? You just join like super high SOF IMSAs and stuff and just grind it?
It's very much being quite selective. Yeah, you've got to be quite selective. So you'll typically, what I'll do is I'll look at the schedule and I'll say, right, okay, so GT Sprint week 2 is at, let's say, Hockenheim, for example. Hockenheim, overtaking's a little bit difficult, but with it being GT Sprint, it's a single car class, so there's less risk. Trying to farm in IMSA is incredibly risky, especially when you're at the mercy of like GTPs and LMP2s and traffic and stuff like that. That's a really risky way to farm. When like Road America week 12, we were getting like 4,000 or 5,000 SOFs every single race, so it was good. It was good gaining opportunities, but the GTP strength of field could have been like 3.2k, and you've got like a 2k guy who's got damage on lap 1, and then he's coming back through the field, and if you're trying to gain I rating and win the race, it's incredibly scary. And we saw it happen to Johan at one point. He got crashed into by a damaged GTP on lap 1, and he lost like 160 I rating or something, and it was no fault of his own. And that's like the risk that you run,
It's got to be pretty. It's got to get your adrenaline up, though, when you join a race and it's a little risky and you got your 9K or 10K, and it's like, well,
it definitely gets the blood pumping for sure. Yeah, like you'll be sitting on the grid, and I'll be sitting looking at the relative, like studying the I ratings of the guys behind and going, right, is this guy a wrecking ball? Is this guy Cam? Is this guy crazy? Like you start like micro analyzing all the guys around you and thinking, right, okay, in turn 1 I might have to do this, and then you start. I think it's just a me problem, but I typically try and like predict how the start of the race is going to go in my head, just so that I'm like prepared for it. But like I had it in Mugello where I was grinding Mugello. I'd gotten to like 9-1, almost at 9,200 I rating. Hit the brakes for turn 1, and the guy in P7 had been spun on the straight and came into turn 1 completely backwards, went right across the front of my car. I've slammed on the brakes to avoid him. I've been hit from behind. I've gotten damage. I'm out in the marbles, and then I self-spun and got crashed into, and that was 165 down the drain.
Oof.
That quick.
Oof.
And it was all because the guy in P7 got turned on a straight, and
Yep.
with me having to avoid it, just led to everyone piling into the back of me, and it was that was it, So yeah, the Smurf is definitely, it's nice to have. Obviously it comes a bit of a prerequisite, like you drive the same on the Smurf as you would on the main. Don't be sitting doing last to first challenges and just wrecking people out through the way. Like that's no way to go about things. Yeah, I mean, it's why so many top guys have Smurfs. I don't necessarily like having one. It is more fun to race because I can just sign up for like an M2 race or a Mazda Cup race and
have some fun.
Exactly, yeah. And when I was coming up through the ranks, it was actually really fun just racing without this pressure like looming over you that if I lose 150 I rating, I'm out of the next special event. So yeah,
I gotta give a shout out on the stream for Stratty. Huge raid, thank you, Stratty. Yeah, it's gotta be. I wish I was good enough to figure out, or I wish I was good enough to have to worry about my I rating.
Well, who knows, maybe after this session you'll find yourself getting up towards like 5-6k, and then all of a sudden you're protecting it.
There you go. I think I was up over 5k one time, and it was because of week 13 Mazda.
I remember that.
Farmed it. Yeah.
But
I would say GT3 is, I mean, it's fun, and I can get out there and mix it up a little bit, but GT3 is just a totally different animal. How different is like iRacing GT3 compared to like other games that you've played? Like, what are some weird characteristics of it?
So I've played a little bit of LMU, admittedly not much, and I've done obviously an awful lot of Rensport. And Rensport had some really nice aspects to it about the GT3s that iRacing doesn't have. Just on a side note, when you get to the line, do one more lap for me, and then I'll fire up like a Discord live stream or something, and I'll kind of run you through the lap. Is what I normally do, and I'll pinpoint a couple little bits. Yeah, like Rensport was nice because you could actually like use the brake pedal, so you could slam it to 100%. Like you see in real life, they slam the brake pretty quick and then they start coming off. Whereas iRacing, it's very much like lean into the brake slowly.
Threshold braking. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the threshold braking, the super smooth trail off, avoiding the ABS. Or not avoiding it entirely, but trying not to use too much of it. So yeah, that's the downside with iRacing. Is just the ABS interaction with the tires. I mean, we spoke about it like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was, and it's still kind of the same thing. The tires are still very sensitive to temperature. You have a small slide on the exit of one corner. By the time you get to the next one, there's a high chance you just completely spin. The grip over the limit is very, very small. It tails off very quickly, a little bit too quickly in my opinion. Rensport is probably too far the other way, where you could go over the limit and just drive like a maniac, and you wouldn't really get punished for it. So somewhere in the middle of iRacing and Rensport probably would have been pretty good. But yeah, I mean, iRacing's like, especially on open set, like, you've got to drive the cars super twitchy, super on edge. It's not something that I'm a huge fan of. Knowing that as you come into a corner, if you have 5% too much brake or 10 degrees too much steering lock at one point at the corner, you're going to spin. That to me is just not confidence inspiring. But that's kind of what you have to do to be quick. You have to be rotating all the time. You can't ever have like a moment of understeer or something like that. And that's hard to be confident with, especially when you're not a huge fan of it. I like a car to be quite neutral, or like quite loose on throttle I can handle, but loose on entry I'm not huge on it. Yeah, overall, what I'm seeing so far is pretty good. I think my target lap time in these conditions was 44.1 in the Corvette.
I I screwed up the bus stop a little bit. That was my hot lap, but I screwed up the bus stop a little bit. But otherwise, eh, it's
It
pretty good
it didn't look
for
too bad.
split.
Did not. It honestly didn't look too bad.
For, first laps here, first laps with this setup, this car, and this track here, like in a while, you know. But all right, cool. Then you're gonna share your screen on Discord, and then
Yes,
you'll
sir.
analyze it. All right, cool.
You'll have to excuse I'm on triples and it doesn't give me the option to just stream the one screen,
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
which is a bit frustrating.
Mm,
It might look a little bit scuffed on your
one.
end, that's the only problem.
Yeah, we can make it work. We'll make it work.
I'll pull your stream up so I don't jump the gun here.
We're gonna make it work.
Oh, there we
Oh
go.
yeah, we're good.
Oh,
We're
look at
good.
that. We're chilling.
Maybe if you give me good driving techniques, I can help you with the streams. No,
That's
no, I'm
that sounds like a
kidding.
fair trade. I'll take your
Yeah.
advice any day of the week.
All right.
So, yeah, just looking at T1.
So wait, which lap is this?
So
This is my fast one.
this is your fastest, yeah, your
Okay.
46.0.
Yeah.
So straight away on the entry, everything's looking good. Like the first thing I'm looking at here is your track usage on the left-hand side, right up against the grass. You know, that's spot on. No concerns there. The turn end's maybe a little bit late. We tend to, turn one's a bit of a weird one.
Mhm.
It invites you into the corner quite early, but you also know that you've got a long straight coming up, so instinctively, obviously, your brain is probably saying, I want to set up for the exit because I know that it's a long straight coming.
Mhm.
So I can see that with the approach that you've taken, that the exit is more of the priority, which is good. The only issue we have is the throttle pickup is a little bit too late. So if you sort of look here as we come through the corner on the exit, you're not using all the track here. So this is kind of where you've ended up, but you've opened the lock to get there. If you watch the steering input, you sort of open the lock there, then you turn, and then it kind of straightens a little bit. So you're sort of steering the car over there.
Mhm.
What we want it to do is just end up there naturally. So where you're turning the wheel to the right, and as you're coming on the exit, you're like barely able to hang it within the track limits rather than coming through and opening the lock. Obviously, it's your first laps on the combo, so you know we'll
Right.
give you a bit
But
of leeway that way.
and that's what you were talking about as far as like just having rotation the whole time, like the
Yeah.
car is rotating, you're not steering it. And we're just for everybody, just to lock them back in here, this is Kevin Ellis Jr., esports coach, uh top level driver, and he is fully exposing all of my flaws in iRacing. We're getting a little live coaching here on the stream. We just did some laps at Watkins Glen in preparation for the 6 hour race. And he's going over my fastest lap here. And we're giving us tips. So, chat, make sure you're writing this stuff down. Okay. Continue.
So yeah, as I say, the entry track usage and the turning points and everything was really nice. What I'd want you to try and work on when you go back out is focusing on the track limit. So on the exit, we can use a lot more of this.
Okay.
All you need on the exit of turn one is 2 tires on this curbing in any shape or form.
Okay.
You can have a little bit of slip angle as you come off the end of it. Obviously, we don't want that, but you can get away with it. So you can see
So the only thing that needs to be touching the paint are my right side tires.
exactly. Yep, the left
Okay.
sides and the middle point of the car can be way off in Narnia out here. It doesn't matter. You just need
Okay.
you just need these two right hand side tires on that curb, and you'll be clear. So bear that in mind. Like keep the line the same, but when you get to at this point here, so just before the right front gets onto the apex curb, that's where you want to get on the power, and you can sort of just go 0 to 100 straight away.
Okay.
With GT3s and iRacing, you have to be very smooth and precise with the brake, but on the throttle, you can just drive like it's got a brick on it for the most part. Like a lot of
Oh,
these
that's
corners,
perfect for me. Yeah, that's
a lot of these corners
my
are
my
just
throttle
bang.
is a on off switch. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. You're a GT3 driver at heart then, because
Yeah,
that's all you
yeah.
need to do. You don't need much sort of you don't need much sort kind of finesse with
Like
the throttle
feel,
pedal.
finesse. Yeah.
Yeah, like the low speed stuff is a little bit more technical. But the high speed stuff, like the last corner, T1 out of this carousel up here, it's just 0 to 100 straight on, and don't worry about it. So this is the lap you said you missed the bus stop a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just came in too hot, huh?
yeah, that's fine. So
Or I just didn't get quite settled after my initial turn in, it felt like. Cuz I that curb kind of threw me off. Usually I go to the wall on this. Can you go to the wall?
no,
On the right side? No, cuz of the new curb.
exactly. Yeah, they've changed the track limit now, so you can have
Yeah.
your left-hand side tires on the white line, and that's as far as you can go.
Mm.
And this curb is a little bit frustrating because it's one of those ones where you can hit it what feels like identical 2 laps in a row, and one lap will be perfect, the next you'll just spin, and it's because you've got a slightly different angle coming over the curb, or you're like half a tire width further to the outside, and the splitter just catches a part of the curb that it didn't normally. Um, just to kind of go over the brake point, like your brake point here is fine. This sort of orange marker on the wall on the left hand side is fine. What you want to do is basically start turning in right at this Marshall post on the left hand side, and you're kind of diving in for that first apex. So you want to, as I say, get your left hand side tires on the white line, and have your right hand side of the car all up in this sort of area.
Wow. Okay.
And we're going to obviously have our threshold brake pressure, and then we're going to start coming off the brake just before we get to the curb. So you actually want to come over the curb with no brake input or no throttle input whatsoever. Once you land, that's when you can then get back onto the brake. You don't need much brake into here. It's like a little 25% kind of stab, and that's it. Get the nose in for the left-hander, and cut a lot of this curb. Obviously, let me check the previous lap's bus stop just to see if it's a little bit closer. Okay, yeah. So through the left here, this usage is perfect. This is kind of what we want. You can use a lot of this curb. You want to land in this sort of triangle section here as you come off the curb. So the closer to the grass you can be, the better. And then the track usage in the middle is really nice. We're going to use this seam on the left-hand side, and kind of want your left-hand side tires basically on that, or a tire width to the right of that at most. It's quite a tight line actually that you carry between the two.
Yeah, because you're just straight line. You're just straight lining it, basically. Trying
Exactly.
to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, the line through here is nice. What we can do is just carry more speed, but
Okay.
that will come through the first right. So when you cut more off the first right, start to get a feel for how smooth the car can land, and then gradually you want to increase speed that you hit it at. If you get stuck for a while, eventually I will just say to you, just send it and crash on purpose. And that's what I say to people quite a lot, is like, just send it and crash on purpose, just so that you can get a sense of what that entry speed feels like. Because they might get the entry speed right, and then they just miss the curb, and that's why they crash. But yeah.
Okay, good. Cool. And somebody in the chat's like, this is free coaching for all of us. Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
pay attention
exactly.
for the 6 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
A one time only for the subathon. We gotta hop in and help you
Yeah.
out. So yeah, the carousel generally looks pretty good.
The carousel, now I see a lot of people like setting up the carousel, which you just want to ride the camber of the you know, you don't
Yeah,
want to like go way wide coming out of here and then try to set it up, because then you can't get it in the groove, right?
exactly.
So to keep it tight. Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah, you want to keep this just all as one natural flow. So like you come through
Okay.
this left-hander, and the car will naturally end up all over this right-hand curb. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to open up the carousel. Just launch over this curb on the exit. What we're wanting to do is, as we land off the curb, we're going to get to this patch of the circuit here. This is where we're going to start coming off the throttle and just letting the car roll. I mean, your positioning here is like perfect. As long as you're within a couple car widths of this sort of seam, or like within the middle of this lane, if you like, This is
Hmm.
fine. You don't want to be all the way out here on the left. This is
Right.
too much distance to carry. And the point that you kind of got into the apex is perfect. The only thing you've probably done wrong, and I don't like using the word wrong, the, the one
Right.
thing we
No, we
could
get it.
probably improve on is the throttle pickup, and that's where
Hmm.
this little access road is going to come in handy. So as we come past this access road here, you can this is another corner where you can kind of just go 0 to 100. Now
Oh.
obviously it's dependent on the entry. Sometimes you want to drag like 5% brake just to tuck the nose in if the line out of the bus stop is a little bit hindered. But that's the general rule of thumb, is when you get to that access road, just thump it, and your track usage on the exit's fine, but you can use more. There's no track limit out here. You can be like
Okay.
right out up against the wall. As long as you get back on before the grass, that's fine.
Okay.
Any questions about like the first couple corners or the first three
Um.
corners?
No, not really. I mean, it's a lot of information, but we'll take it all in and keep going. Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah,
The coming out of the carousel there, I feel like if you are on throttle early and you are making that corner and you go to the wall and everything's right in the world, you you're straightened out and have enough time to not hit the grass. What I find sometimes is that I'm coming in hot and I'm going right towards that grass. So then I have to, like something's off,
yeah,
like I don't get on throttle or my rotation isn't quite there and I get on throttle too early, or sometimes there's that bump there and sometimes I just kind of give up some speed so I don't even deal with that curb and grass and the bump. But I think if you do all your rotation much earlier, you're completing the corner earlier and you're along that wall and then the car straight and then you just move slightly to the right to avoid the grass.
exactly. It's all
Okay.
about managing at what point in the corner you lose the front end. If you lose the front
Okay.
end in the entry phase, so you come off the throttle and you don't touch the brake and you just let it coast, and you feel the front end kind of going on the entry, you already know by the time you pick throttle up, you're in for a bad time. Like, you're going to have to
Okay.
delay that throttle pickup, because if you lose the front early, it's ruined the whole corner. If you lose it midway through because you brush the inside curb, for example, like brushing this will kind of just kill the rotation and you'll slide a bit wide. If you lose the front end there, it's savable, but you have to be careful and mindful of that.
So basically, the whole setting up for the carousel, and then that if you need it, that little bit of 5% brake just to keep the weight on the front of the car to keep that rotation. That's the
Exactly.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, you'll find as well that into the carousel every single lap there will be a slight variance in speed, because no one's hitting the bus stop exactly the same lap after lap, right? If you catch
Right.
that first curb a little bit wrong through the first right, then your exit speed's going to be off for the exit, because you can't get back to throttle in
Right.
time. Whereas if you nail it, you could come in 5 mile an hour quicker than the previous lap.
Hmm.
So it's just all about, like, as you turn in and kind of come off the throttle, is identifying what you're feeling through the wheel. Is it like, do I feel like I've got grip, or do I not? Does it feel a little bit light? So you might want a little dab of brake just to scrub off that little bit of excess speed, and as you
Right.
rightly say, move the weight transfer forward
Okay.
just to
Okay.
give you the
Cool.
right line.
Because that's pretty important corner. I mean, I always find it a good place to overtake there. If someone busted out wide
Yeah,
into the carousel, then boom, I go right inside of them, and they can't get back like they because of the curbing or the just the way the camber is.
yeah, this could be
It's good
quite a good.
overtake opportunity.
Yeah, it's really good for setting up an overtake as well. A lot of people kind of come in their way too hot and they start running wide,
Mm.
as you mentioned. And it's quite a good opportunity to kind of cut underneath them, and then you'll have the outside for this corner, which probably isn't advisable, but sometimes you can get the run and get up the inside. Um, what I was going to suggest is we'll do this next corner. I'll give you some feedback on that. We'll get you back out on track. Try another 4 or 5 laps with the changes we've discussed. Give your brain time to kind of process everything, because I don't want to just give you
Hmm.
like a full lap guide, because you're not going to remember half the shit we spoke about at the
Yeah, yeah,
start
yeah.
if we just keep going, right? So with this one, yeah, like the line looks good. What I like to do is look for this apex curb. There's a bit that really sticks out. I don't know if it's easy to spot. You can see what I'm talking about, but this white line sort of tightens right around here.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is your apex point and your throttle pickup point. So when you get to here, you don't want to be touching the inside curb if you can help it. Try and avoid it. When you
Okay.
get down to here, you can be very aggressive up to about 80 to 90% throttle, and then you only really have to modulate that last sort of 10 to 20%, just depending on how it feels. Again, if you lose the front end back here, then we're going to be fighting it quite a bit on the exit just to try and keep it on the track. But if all's going smoothly and you're feeling good, you can get to here and just slam it, and it should sort of glue on the exit. So yeah, you have to be quite patient. You want to come in tight, but you don't want to turn into the apex yet. So you kind of come in and you sort of mirror the line with the curb and waiting, and then you cut in right at this point here where the white line tightens. Yeah. And that's where the rotation comes from. When you get over that white line and pick the throttle up, the car kind of compresses on the exit, and then it will turn, and you should have a stable rear end, all things going well.
Okay.
All right.
Jump back in?
Yeah, so feel free to go out. We'll give it another 5 laps or so. Try some of the changes that we've spoke about, and just see how they feel. If you want me to remind you of any while you're out on track, that's fine. Just let me know.
What is it with the GT3, like the cold tires? What people say, like 3 or 4 laps. Some people are like about 8th lap it comes in. Like what is the deal with the cold tires in GT3?
So quite a lot actually changed in the most recent update for my racing. There's a lot more grip on cold tires now. So before, it was very easy to sort of spin or just randomly lose the front end. Yeah, there we go. That was good curb usage there. That was nice. It was very easy to just sort of spin on entry, whereas now there's a lot more grip in general, and that just sort of comes from the tire change, where I don't remember the exact wording they use, but it's the same thing that's now leading to us running like no traction control on the setups. Like you can basically do a full lap round here, or a full stint with no traction control whatsoever, and it's fine. They've like increased the grip of the tire. I don't know if it's horizontally or what they've done, but they've changed something within the tire that's given the car quite a lot of grip. So now the car handles really nice. The rear end's a lot more planted, a lot more predictable, but it's still about 3 seconds off, give or take, depending on what track you're at. And again, the peak lap time is all dependent on the track that you're at as well. Like Spa, it could be lap 2 or lap 3. I did a data pack at Oran Park earlier today, and it was lap 11 was was when the tires finally came in, because it's like a 1:10 lap time. Round here, I think it was anywhere from lap 4 to 6, depending on the car. The Ferrari fires up very quickly. It's very good on cold tires. It's comfortably the best. Whereas the McLaren took a couple of extra laps, but when it got the heat in the tires, it took off. Like the McLaren was clear of everything else. So yeah, it's very car and track dependent with the tires. So we're running the cup layout here, Matt.
Whoops. I was trying the 0 to 100 throttle thing.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll give it a couple of laps, so I'll let you off.
To clarify, 3 seconds, what you said earlier, 3 seconds off of the real life times is what you were saying?
No, it's 3 seconds off like what your fastest time would be.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the first lap out the pits, they're pretty slow, but they're not dangerous anymore. The tires they feel quite smooth. Or not smooth, but like easy to drive. Compared to before, but the lap time's still roughly the same. The big thing with cold tires that I find is just trying to avoid the ABS entirely on cold tires seems to be a bit more beneficial than when they're hot. I don't know if it's just because of the lack of temp, but anytime I get into the ABS on cold tires, it's almost like the grip just switches off on the front tires. Once they're hot, you've got a bit of extra grip margin to play with, so you can lean into the ABS, and you do want to lean into it a little bit. It's not a case of avoiding the ABS entirely, but you have to have the ABS engage at the right point of the braking zone, and that's where it's tricky to learn and get that muscle memory.
Like that last corner there is just about a little bit of trail braking.
Appreciate all the questions. I'm sorry I can't answer.
That's how I just kind of ride it with trail braking.
Yeah, the last corner is really satisfying when you get it right. It's like a little dab of brake on the entry just to get the nose weight kind of where you want it, and then yeah, again,
it's a fun corner.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
Yeah, I like the profile now. It feels a bit wider on exit than it was like 5-6 years ago. It really felt like it tightened up on exit. Now it feels quite open in comparison. I don't know if it's just because my memory's terrible or if it has actually changed a little bit.
Oh, I gotta slow down.
That's alright, I'll clear it.
Sweet, thank you.
Hey Polaris, yeah, I do want
See,
to
there I
answer
had to
questions,
apply a
but
little bit of brake just to get the nose back rotating.
yeah, I don't want to just leave Matt on his own. He's asking some good questions and stuff, so.
Oh, that was pretty good. I can see that oblong white line that you pointed out.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, these are all little
'Cause
things that you're always looking for, you know?
It's almost like the curve, they like screwed up the corner, you know, when they were like building it. And it's like, it's not a perfect curve. And then it, like extra turns in that one little area. It's almost like that right at the apex.
Yeah, I think the dude sneezed when he was laying the curb in that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all these little kind of things that you want to try and pick up on, you know? It could be even like a little brown smudge in the grass somewhere, you know?
Right.
Small things like that we pick out as like reference points that just make it a little bit easier. You know, something as daft as, oh, the white line sort of goes more to the left in this area, that we'll use that as a throttle pickup point. And yeah, that's just kind of, it's quite good actually. That, you remember the website IR Track Maps? I don't know if you ever saw that website, but it was like Google Street View but with iRacing tracks.
No.
I can't remember who it was who made it. I think it was IR Track Maps it was called, and you could basically drop into Street View on an iRacing track and like go around and zoom in on different points.
Oh, really?
So when I was prepping for PESC races, if they had that, I would go on and like zoom into parts that I couldn't do within the replay camera. Like if I was like sitting at my desk and couldn't be asked firing up the sim and driving, I would just go on that and sort of come through and like look in towards the apex, and I'd be like, right, what's on the left hand side? Like, what can I use? Is there like a turning point? Is there a brake point? And you could like zoom in and go in like random little areas and sort of look around, and it was a really good asset for me when I was like trying to learn all the new tracks in the P Cup when I was switching over from the F1 car. That was a really cool thing, and a few of the reference points on here have sort of been picked up from that website. It's a really cool feature.
My buddy Kurt's watching. Good to see you, Kurt. We going to the races tonight, Kurt?
I've actually got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think this subathon is ever going to end? Because I checked earlier and you had like an hour left. And then I took the dog for a walk and I got back and it was on like 42.
And I was explaining it the other day, is like, you know how you go to the bar and you get like one drink at a time and you're sitting there hanging out? That's not the chat. The chat will order 7 pitchers at once, you know? And they just go all in. I'll make this a super hot lap. Fastest lap you've ever seen, Kevin.
All right, let's see it.
Look at it again.
I'll take notes.
That
was better.
Cause you got another booking coming up. How long you got?
Yeah, I've got another client in like an hour from now, so we got time.
Oh, okay.
I make sure to not try and put them too close together, because yeah, it's a 1 hour session, but it always overruns 10-15 minutes. I like kind of chatting to people and giving them some extra advice after the session, just to be like, you know, I want to make sure you've got everything you need like before you go off on your own.
Sure.
So yeah, I was just space it out just so I don't get caught short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good track usage on the exit.
Kurt. Yeah, it's up to you, Kurt. Whatever you want to do.
Your line in this corner is actually very good. The way you just hit it there, I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Oh, they loved it, Kurt. They loved going to the live races. I took the stream to a dirt oval race last Saturday. I looked a little goofy in the grandstands holding the camera and stuff, but it came through really well. Do you ever do any other type of racing, like rallycross or dirt oval or anything like that?
So I was pro in rallycross for a season in 2021.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got into the World Championship and done that for a season, and that was awesome. My teammate at the time ended up winning the championship, so that was cool. I think I got like fifth in the end, so I was pretty happy with that for like a rookie year. Won rookie of the year that season as well, and managed to throw away 2 wins. As
Ah,
we'll go for a little spin. But
well, that was a purple. It was a purple lap just now. I think there's some good stuff to look at there.
yeah, there we go. That's another little step forward. We found 300 so far, and you've not really had time to like practice it, and
Yeah,
we're chatting
yeah,
away and everything. So we're not in like
yeah,
optimal conditions, right?
yeah. No, no, but it's been fun. It's fun though. I've definitely picked up on a couple things that, especially, yeah. No, this is good. This is good. We all
I'm
learn
glad.
in different ways. Chat. Come on. And listen, I've got built-in bad habits too. So, but no, this is good.
I've got bad habits as well. To be fair, like I'm not the epitome of a driver. You know, there's still things that I want to work on myself, but yeah, we'll get you pretty close. Like as I said here, like when you came through here, the line itself is
Hmm.
actually really nice. This is a corner that every time I coach someone at this circuit, this is a corner where they come in and they'll either just not turn the wheel or
Mm.
they'll come in super tight. They'll be away in here running the tight line the whole way through, and you can just hear on the
Right.
exit the engine is just like desperate for something to happen, right? Like it's just
Hmm.
the car just ain't going. So this is really nice. The brake point looks nice. The entry line is pretty sweet. And yeah, again, this corner is actually kind of the same as the last one. Pay attention to the white line. You've got the same thing
Oh
again. So
yeah.
I think the same guy laid this curb in the last corner, and he must have had hay fever or something, because both times he
Yeah.
sneezed, and we've got this
Yeah.
like little sharp corner here.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, I picture this corner is almost like sort of my like NASCAR practice comes in where I see the banking, but then if you go too far to the left, I feel like it's less cambered, it's less banked. So I want to maximize the banking, and then visually as I see it, that line that I'm taking is like the maximum banking. I don't whether that's true or not, but it just feels like the best line through there.
I think
And then
it's
I mean, most of the time I'm just going too slow. I think that's the difference between the esports drivers and me. Like they're way more on the edge,
yeah.
where I'm holding back a little bit, but the car could give me more.
That's that's a really hard thing to teach people. It's
Yeah.
something that I've got with a few of my clients where like they've gotten to the point now where like they understand the lines and everything looks sweet. It's having that like inner confidence to really carry the speed on the entry, because like they'll try and carry the speed that I carry and straight away they spin. Whereas
Yeah.
like as I come into there, I'm expecting the wheel to go light. If the wheel is going light on entry, I'm like, okay, good, this is nice. Whereas in reality, it's on the verge of spinning and crashing. But for me, that's my cue that I'm on the edge and I'm on the limit. But for somebody else who hasn't got that confidence, near the limit,
And
that's an instant
yeah,
death sentence.
and I think it's just that's where actual practice sessions come in, and what you were saying with the bus, with the yeah, the bus stop is just like get in there and fail a couple
Yeah,
times. You know what I mean? Like, just get in there and screw it up, and so you can get the feel for it.
you would be amazed how much we crash at an esports level.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I literally had it on stream the other day, or a couple of weeks ago. I was doing the Ringmeister series and the Mustang GT3, and the Ringmeister setup was catastrophically bad. Like iRacing whiffed completely,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
going through Flugplatz, you know, the car would just spin. Like the rear end geometry was wrong with the setup, and it was like super unstable at high speed. I went into Flugplatz and I crashed 6 times in a row on stream. Everyone's laughing at me. It's right before the race. I'm like, I'm on my main account. Or, no, I was on my Smurf actually. I was on the Smurf, but everyone was laughing
Yeah.
at me because I kept crashing. And I was like, fucking hell, like, what's wrong with this setup? And then I went in, I had the fastest queue time of the week, and I was really quick all week. And I had plenty
Yeah.
of confidence in Flugplatz after that. But it's only because I went in and crashed on purpose like 6 times.
All right.
You know, so you've got to crash to find the
Yeah.
limit, right?
Sure.
That's the
Sure.
luxury of sim racing. All you need to do is hold reset, go again. Who cares, right? There's no
Yeah.
damage bill,
Yeah.
so take
True.
advantage of
True.
that. Yeah, this corner's really nice. That little sort of spiky bit in the white line, that's like your apex point, and just before that's like your throttle pickup point.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, everything sounds good in terms of the throttle pickup. You maybe crept in a little bit early at the apex there. You sort of have that small correction, and you sort of lose a bit of rotation there.
Right.
But I'm really kind of nitpicking there. Like the general
Oh no.
fundamentals are good.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm overall I'm happy with that. That looks nice. So we'll quickly go through the end of the lap. The last two corners are pretty straightforward, so they won't take very long. This corner, this looks nice. maybe turning in a little bit too much and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit slow. That's why we're sort of skimming that curb. And if you watch like the yaw angle of the car here, as it brushes the curb, look what happens. It's straighten up. It's really,
Yeah, it
really,
kills your rotation. Hmm.
yeah, it's really, really subtle, but this makes a big difference. So it's just that little
Yep.
straighten up that it has on the apex curb, and you can tell just from the profile of the curb that it's designed to do that because it's angling away from you. It's not like flat where it kind of invites you in. This is one where if you hit it, you're off to the outside. It's going to push you. So this is one where you do want to creep in quite early on the entry. So this is nice. You start turning in at the 100 board, which is what we want to do. The only thing
Okay.
that went wrong here is you were a little bit down on entry speed. If you carried an extra 5 mile an hour, you would have sort of just skimmed the white line and you would have been perfect.
Right.
This is kind of similar to turn one again, where you're straightening the wheel to end up out there. If you kept turning to the right, you would never have sort of gotten out this way. It's more because you're opening the lock to end up there,
Okay.
rather than ending up there naturally, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that's something you see a lot of people like you look at it on the surface and like, oh, the track usage are really good. Like they're using all the track on the entry, they're all over the um, you're all over the curb on the outside. But then if you actually look at steering input, they'll come out the corner and then halfway through they'll just go like that and straighten it and then turn again to end up on the outside, where it's like, no, you kind of want to carry enough speed to just end up there.
It only makes sense to use the entire track if you're pushing the car so much where it needs the entire track.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just making it a longer way around for no reason. Like if you've already got all your rotation, why are you using that extra track?
Yeah.
Might as well make it a shorter line, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
the idea is to use the whole track and to make sure you need the whole track.
Yeah, and that's something I kind of want to get through to people is like when you're
Mm.
working at getting quicker or like learning a new track, right? Like look at your track usage first. That's the first thing you should be checking, and then ask yourself the question in replay: did I end up there naturally, or did I intentionally end up there? Did I turn my car to put it there, or did I end up there naturally? If
Okay.
you're ending up there naturally, that's good. That shows that you're carrying the right amount of speed with the right angle, with the right steering lock, and the correct corners of the car are gripping to keep you within track limits, right?
Makes sense.
If you're coming
Yep.
out and you're like in the middle of the track, you'll go, right, okay, well, I didn't carry the speed necessary. I've not ended up in the right place. Now, this corner is lovingly named Bitch Corner by me and my teammates because there's nothing nice about this corner. There's nothing good to
Wait,
say
wait.
about it.
There is a corner at VIR Grand Layout called Bitch Corner for real, and it
Oh, is
says it
there
on the track map and everything. Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
had
They
no
must have had the
idea.
same. They must have had the same thoughts about that corner as this one.
It's these damn American
Yeah,
tracks, Matt. You guys make some weird fucking
yeah,
corners.
yeah. VIR Grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, this is a tough corner because it's so flat.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
This is like the transition coming back onto the cup layout. So you sort of turn in and you can see from here, like it is actually positively cambered. You can see the outside of the track is
Hmm.
higher than the curb, but then when you get over the transition, it almost feels like negative camber where you're kind of falling away, all of a
Yeah.
sudden. So with bitch corner, because as you're coming up to it, when you get over the top of the crest, the track flattens out quite a bit. So we want to do the turning early. So your brake point here is okay. I would try and move over to the right a little bit quicker,
Hmm.
just so that you're a little bit straighter before the corner, but overall your brake point looks okay. And then what we want to do is sort of like, I'm trying to think of the right word, sort of creep into the corner almost. And there's a bit of a double apex. I'll see if I can get a camera angle that will really show this properly. I might need the chopper camera for this one.
Yeah, because I would always set this. I set this one up. I kind of go in wide and try to hit a late apex,
Yeah,
but it's almost like a double horseshoe. You want to double apex it a little bit.
kind of. Yeah, there's an apex
Or,
point and then there's like a give up point. So
okay.
there's like a point where even the chopper camera doesn't really show it too well. It's like round about here. Where's that
Hmm.
mark on the wall that I've just got in the grass? Not really one there. This is why it's bitch corner because like, there's so little like there's so little reference points. You've got to just sort of hit the brakes
Mhm.
and start creeping in early and get onto that white line and just hold it there. Hold it on the white line
Mm.
throughout the corner until you get to this point here again with the white line tightens and cuts off to the left. This is your give up point. Right
Okay.
before the transition, this is where you give up. So you kind of come in, keep it up against that white line on the inside. We'll see if we can get a better camera angle to show everyone kind of what we're talking about. Fucking trees.
See.
You basically hold it in like within about a tire's width of the white line
Okay.
the whole way around, and then you get to that give up point, and then you can just sort of let it go on the exit and let it track out.
So for a corner like that, I would just say keep it tight. You
Yeah,
keep it tight, basically, and then you wait for your exit and go.
exactly. Get in tight, hold it
Okay.
tight, and then when you get to this point, when the front end of your car gets to here, then you can give up, let it track out on the exit, which again your track
Okay.
exit or your track usage on the exit's fine. This corner's nice, you're just lifting too much. The car's got more grip to give
Okay.
there. I normally
Okay.
lift off to about 75% throttle, give or take, depending on the lap. Really
Oh, so you're
nice.
not fully lifting.
Oh no, you only lift off about 20 to
Oh,
30%, anywhere in that range.
you
Um,
roll throttle. I think the short oval guys say you roll throttle.
yeah, yeah.
You
To use
roll
their
throttle.
terminology, yeah, you
Yeah.
roll off like 20-30% and then just roll back on.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
on the exit as well, just be careful if you look. The curb profile is quite weird. So you've got this
Mm.
sort of serrated section and then it just drops off to a flat section. If the right side tires fall off of that onto the flat, then the splitter will hit the ground and you'll get some weird jumping and you can't get the car back over to the left, the last corner.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can lean on this, you want to lean on this with the right side tires, use all the track, skim the curb on the outside, but don't let the tires fall off that serrated section. You can get away with it, but there is always the risk that the splitter will catch and it will fire the car into the air, and you obviously when you're in the air you ain't turning, so the thing will just go straight and then you come into the last corner with a borked angle.
Okay. Somebody's asking, what is the give up point? That's in that previous corner. The give up point is where you get back on throttle, basically.
The give up point is just where that's where you give up being on the apex, for lack of a better term. So like through here you'll be on throttle kind of through this section, sort of modulating it just before.
Hmm.
So like kind of here. Then this here is what I call the give up point. So this is where you can give up aiming to be here and you can go to the outside at that point. That's where you can let go of the inside and the car should naturally end up on the outside curb. If that makes
All right.
sense, hopefully.
Perfect. Yeah. Now you're giving up the apex. You're
Yeah,
leaving the apex. It's time to get out and go to the track out.
exactly. Yeah, give up the
Yeah.
inside, head to the exit. You've completed the corner, kind of thing.
Yeah. Get on with your life, kind of
Yeah,
situation.
exactly. Get on to the next one.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so like again, your track usage here. See this? This is spot on, perfect. But if you go and look at the steering input, I guarantee we'll catch you out again with
Mm.
opening the lock. Yep, there it is.
Exposed.
There you go.
Exposed
You've opened the lock to end up there. You
in
didn't end up there
4K.
naturally. So that's a sign that you can carry more
That
speed.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
So
Yep.
that's like there's all these. See when you're doing a lap, the car's constantly giving you feedback about why you're not going fast enough. The hard thing is understanding and deciphering that information, right? Someone could look at this and go, oh, I've ended up on the outside curb, but I've still lost 2/10. Like, what have I done wrong? The car,
Right.
the car is showing you at this point here. If you kept turning, you would have been nowhere near the curb on the exit. So,
Hmm.
you know, because you've opened the lock to get there, the car's basically telling you, right, you're being a bit of a bitch in this corner. Like,
Yep.
send it a bit
Yep.
harder. You know, I've got more to give. So
Right.
yeah, and then for
Damn,
the
but
last
that's
corner,
like
this is
really on the
good.
edge though, man, you know? Like it's
Yeah,
that thing about just knowing them limits. That's cool.
yeah, it's just all about going over it. Like honestly, I
Right.
spend 50% of my time crashing.
Hmm.
You know, you do all the crashing, in the offline test servers or in the hosted servers and with your teammates, and then when you get into the race, you've already made 101 mistakes. So now that you've made them, you know how not to make them. That makes
Right,
sense, right?
right. That
And
is kind of funny because like the minimal practice that I get when it's like a big race and I'm like the times that I'm like crashing, 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 and then the race starts and everyone bets crash. And then that gives me a huge incentive not to crash and I know the limit and that
yeah,
those races I usually tend to do well, you know, but I mean it's very rare I even get to practice, but no, I get you. Yeah, that makes sense. That's such a huge asset.
yeah, and there's also another clue as well, with the second last corner. if you look at where you end up in the last corner, right? Look at where you turn in from. This is your angle coming into the last corner.
Hmm.
You're not, you're aiming away from the corner.
I'm not in the setup for it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we look at that in a weight transfer perspective, obviously all the weight is over on this side of the car as you come through the previous corner. Then we've straightened up.
Well, the cockpit's on the left, right, Kevin? Where is all the weight? I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm
the
kidding. I'm
momentum
kidding.
is going that way.
Yeah. I had a big sandwich before the race. No, no, no.
I'm jealous. I had Chinese
I'm
food. I'm in no state to drive right now. So basically, the way this is going to go is when you hit the brakes, the weight's going to go forward, but then it's also going to go to the left. Now, if it does it too much, you're going to overload the left front and you'll never get into the apex. Or you can get into the apex, and this happens, where you're like Tokyo drifting it on the entry
yeah.
because all the weight's gone forward and it's taken too much off the inside rear. So what you want to do is if you'd carried more speed through here, you would have gotten to the outside curb earlier. So you probably would have been on the outside curb somewhere around here, and then you got time to get back over. Whereas you straightened the lock to get onto the curb, and then you just sort of went right, corner done, and then oh shit, there's another one, right? So it's kind of like caught you out a little bit.
That's just like coming out of the carousel. Get it
Exactly.
done early, and you're going faster, and
Yep.
then you miss the grass.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't
Damn.
take a breather here. You've got the front straight coming up to take a breather. So here,
Mhm.
just stay locked in for an extra second. Get the car over to the left. Settle the weight transfer a little bit, so you're leaving less to do. Right now, you're making this angle way tighter than it has to be. If you can get it back over to the left and be perpendicular with the line and the wall, you brake at the end of the wall, turn in, and you don't have any of this sliding. And then when you get to this point, you can just slam on the throttle, and everyone's happy.
Right.
Don't knock
I'm
the wall
just
down.
late. I'm late on everything there, basically.
Yeah, it's all because of what you did in the second last corner. So
Right.
I imagine for you, you probably came out of there and went, I screwed up that last corner. Whereas in reality, you actually screwed up the
Right.
second last corner, and that's what's led to that mistake. So they all lead into each other, especially when they're like close in proximity like that, where you haven't got straight in between. Really, like you're always turning through there. You know, you're never really going straight. So
Right.
that's what's led to the mistake in the last corner is what you did in the second last corner.
Makes sense. It's a real compounding issue.
Yeah,
That's usually what happens in races. Like couple little mistakes compound, and then yeah,
it snowballs really quickly.
snowballs. Yep.
Really,
Yep.
really quickly. Yeah, it's so easy to just fall out the rhythm, and then that's it. You end up chasing your tail for the next 2-3 corners. That's why Nordschleife is so difficult for us, because you mess up the first part of the section,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you're chasing you're either chasing the front or the rear or the whole car in some in some cases through the whole next section.
I think that's going to be a huge deal for Coronado. Have you tried the new track? Because that's got a lot of like complex, like three corners in a row,
Yeah.
and it's compromise, exit, and if you screw one of those things up, yeah, that's crazy. All right, more laps. Yeah,
Well,
just
the session is actually just ended, unfortunately,
oh,
but I wanted to kind of cover everything, like every
that's it.
corner,
Oh, sure.
to sort of let you go away with, and then start to practice in your
Yeah.
own time whenever this damn subathon ends. I imagine with the with how it's going, you're not going to get any practice for the 6 hour.
No, maybe I'll host a session, guys, and we can come in here and while it's fresh in our brains, and we can do some laps. But
That's not a bad
yeah,
idea.
if you want to do some summarization or whatever you got to do here, and yeah, whatever you think the viewers would like. I think I've learned quite a bit. I mean, obviously it's a lot, but it's just thi- this is just more of an example of kind of the skills Kevin has as a coach, and you guys can, if you want to book, what are the session lengths? Like you can book an hour, book 2 hours. How does that work?
So
Because you can't like one session. You're not going to become a 6K, 7K driver. I mean, this is like an ongoing thing.
yeah,
And you probably have homework to do, and then you come back and yeah, explain to us kind of how that all works with the coaching.
yeah. So for me right now, I've been very busy, in the rig and out the rig, so I've not had a chance to actually set it up more professionally as such, where people can go into a website, book a time, and book a slot. Everything right now is just simply through my Discord that I just monitor on a daily basis. If people put a request in, they can request their car, what track they want, the session length, and then their preferred time of day or the preferred date and time. Sorry. And then typically I'll message them and say like, give me like your three main points that you want to focus on, so that the session is specific to what they want to work on. Obviously, I've got my due diligence that I have to do, which is making sure that the lines are correct and foundations are there, but also accommodating it so that I'm answering their questions in the same session. So for me, people can book 1 hour, 2 hour, or 3 hour chunks, or blocks, I should say. But if they want to split those three sessions up into like three separate 1 hour slots, then they can do that. It doesn't have to be like 3 hours in one go. Nobody's going to want to sit and do that. I'll have no voice by the end of it. They'll be bored.
Yeah, it'd be too much information.
Exactly.
That's just too much for the brain to take in. I mean, we've been
Exactly.
going for about an hour, and it's like, okay, like I feel like I got stuff, that I can work on, and it's a little bit more manageable. But
Yeah.
yeah, to chunk it up makes a lot of sense.
And that's really common. Like I'll have a couple of my sort of longer term clients that are sort of working with me on like a weekly basis. They'll
Mhm.
just buy like a block of three. That will do them for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however many sessions a week they decide they want to do, and we just keep on doing that. And every single session, we'll go to a different track. We'll do what we've done with you here, where we check over the lines first. If everything's looking good, then we start moving on, and we try and keep the advice quite general, so that there's
Mhm.
stuff that you can apply from track to track as well. There's stuff that you can knowledge you can carry on if you're doing the official weeks, to where it's not just Watkins Glen specific. Yeah, I'll show you the lines and the track limits, but a lot of what I was telling you about with like the weight transfer in the last corner, that's
Yeah.
something you can sort of take with you everywhere.
Right. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and that's what and this is a little bit different situation with the stream and everything, but the idea is that you throw down some laps. He's going to look at it. He's going to give you general. He's going to, I mean, you're the teacher, so you give fundamentals. And so it's not just like this is what you do at this corner at this track, and it's like okay, well that coaching was just for that corner. It's like no, this will transfer over into all of racing. Some of the
Yeah,
fundamentals, like definitely with like the weight transfer and yeah, just different concepts that make you just a better driver overall for sure.
it's like what I was saying to you with where we kind of caught you out with the on the surface your track usage looked good, but in reality you were
Right.
opening the lock to get there. That's something you can remember and take with you to every
Right.
track. Make sure that, especially this Coronado Naval Air Base thing, where it's one corner into the next. If you're like, oh, my track usage is really good, I'm right up against the wall, you can be like, oh wait, hang on. Kev said, did the car end up there naturally, or did I put it there consciously?
Right.
And hopefully in that you find some time. I've not had a chance to drive Coronado yet. I watched you drive it a couple of days ago to try and at least learn where the corners went, because
Right, right,
I'd
right. The
never heard of the
layout, yeah.
place. Yeah, I was just trying to learn the layout because I've got data packs there in a few weeks. So
Sure, sure.
that was something.
I think it's a great track. I've heard some of the oval guys bitch and moan about it, but as a road guy, I think it's great.
Yeah,
So,
I like the
I
look
mean,
of it. It's bumpy.
yeah.
It's tight in some
It
areas, but then it really opens up. And yeah,
yeah.
I
When
think it'll be fun.
when you're flying around like especially that last corner and the first corner and the bumps and the walls and even on like an M2 and you're just on the edge, it feels like you're going so much faster because of the bumps and you're just riding it.
Yeah,
I think it's a blast, but
it looks
I
really
mean,
fun.
yeah.
Um,
Well, listen, Kevin, I mean, this has been amazing. I mean, I can't thank you enough for giving myself and everybody watching tips and tricks, stuff that will make us all better drivers. And yeah, I mean, this is great. And you stream, you do the coaching, you're getting esports ready. I mean, you are esports ready, but you're kind of you said the esports world is kind of crappy right now, but I mean, I
yeah,
think it's gonna be picking up soon, right? I mean, what the esports? If you're an esports team and you just join like the 24 hours of the Nurburgring, like it's not really like a big. It doesn't pay anything. I mean, what's the deal? Like those teams just do it for the notoriety, get their name out there on the broadcast, right?
Pretty much, it's like brand
Yeah.
awareness, bragging rights,
Yeah.
keep the sponsors sweet kind of thing. Because
Right.
obviously every team's going to go right. Look, we did 24 hours on Nurburgring, it had 10,000 views,
Yeah.
and they can use that to
Right.
get sponsors. So that's the
Okay.
main reasoning for it.
That's a tough gig, man. I mean, not only do you got to be super good at racing, you got to find those opportunities. That's a tough gig, man. But
Yeah,
I mean,
not
with the
easy.
coaching, I think with the coaching, yes, esports can be exciting. Having awesome broadcasts can be exciting, but I think with the coaching, I think you're giving the sim racing world an even better service. Serving them that way with it making us better and making us understand sim racing even better. So I applaud you for that, for sharing your talents and viewpoints.
Yeah, I mean, I was 900 I rating at one point, on road. So
Sure.
I had to put the work in and kind of get coaching and everything. So yeah, I think now it's my time to give back and help people. And there's like, when I was a little kid and wanted to do racing in real life and being told it wasn't an opportunity, sim racing became the next best thing. And the
Right.
fact that I've been able to turn that into a career option and be able to use sim racing to pay for the house that my kids live in and things like that. Like it's all just been one crazy ride for the past decade that now I'm
Yeah.
at a point where like, you know what, like yeah, coaching is a really good way of networking as well. Like I've met a lot of really interesting people that I wouldn't have otherwise met if I hadn't have done the coaching stuff, and I'd sort of stayed in my own little bubble that all of us esports guys tend to do. We go and live under a rock and we just do our pro
Right.
practice data packs and that's it kind of thing, and
Yeah.
we don't put ourselves out there too much. But when I got let go, I was like, I need to make a change. I need to try something different,
Right.
and I'm glad I have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, you guys can watch him stream on his Twitch and ask him questions. Now, when on during your streams, right, you're giving out like free info too. I'm sure,
Yeah,
right? If people ask or hanging out, yeah, in the chat. So, definitely, definitely, just watching you drive. I mean, you're gonna pick stuff up. I always say that if you watch me drive too long, you're gonna lose iRating. But you watch Kevin to bring it back up, so you need a little both.
I think while I'm in my current farming phase, trying to get to 10k, I might have to not watch you for a while then, in the nicest way possible, if that's how
Well,
that
I
works.
that is a good question. So you watch the stream, or let's say I'm just dicking around doing some stuff, and are you like hyper analyzing my lines and
Yeah,
stuff? And you're like, oh, Malone, like, yeah, okay, I figured
yeah.
that's gonna
I'll be sitting there. I'll be on the toilet or something, like with my phone, sitting watching. I'm like, Matt's missed that apex.
yeah, I
Matt's
missed it.
reading Matt's reading chat in the braking zone again. He's whiffed
Yeah.
that corner. Oh, he's been overtaken. I'm sitting like, come on, Matt. Like,
I can only imagine what it's like, yeah, for somebody like you to watch the stream. But like, you know how it is with like Mazda and
yeah, yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah, I'm just messing with you.
Everyone brings their own
Taking a piss.
aspect to streaming and sim racing and stuff. Like you watch my stream and it's very much kind of serious, and there's some days I'm having like a bit of a mental
Yeah,
breakdown on stream because I'm not going fast enough, and that's kind of what I can offer. But then you're much more like the entertainment, interaction, community vibe, but also you're not a complete Billy to where like we've seen in this session, you still know how to drive. Like you're only 2 seconds off my lap times and you haven't done any practice. So
yeah,
you
and
bring
I'm
that kind of
jumping
nice
from
blend of
yeah.
both, right?
Okay.
But for me, like if I click on a stream and the guy's like, just whiffing every corner, I have to turn it off because it really frustrates me.
Yeah.
It's just how I
'Cause
am. I can't
I'll
help
go
it.
from F4 to Rallycross to GT3,
Yeah,
but what I do want to get better, and I do need to like lock in a little bit more for certain circumstances, But I think just the practice where you can fail, I think is really important
yeah.
because I'm going from race to race to race to race, so I can't just like I'm gonna go full throttle into this bus stop and see what happens. Well, it's lap 3. I'm in the race. I can't do
Yes,
that.
it's
You
too
know what I
late at
mean?
that
So
point. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's important. That's a good point. So,
I
but
mean, you got to take it
yeah,
all with a
no,
pinch of salt, right? Like
yeah,
with what you do, it's so difficult to build up any muscle memory or any consistency when you're constantly jumping from like dirt road to formula to sports car to oval to. I'll
yeah,
click on your stream one day, you're in like rookie street stocks yesterday. I'm like, what? And then I clicked on today and you're doing rallycross. I'm like, right, okay, this guy's just
yeah,
crazy, right? Like that's. But that's at the end of the day, as I say, like that's part of your stream, and that's what makes it so entertaining is that you're always at least in a race. Whereas if you watch my stream, I'll
right,
do a 45-minute IMSA race, and then it's an hour of me sitting practicing, tweaking the setup, like, you know, sweating because
Yeah,
the rear camber
yeah.
might be off by point 0.3 of a degree or something stupid, you know, like that's just how my
But
life is, and that's what
it's
it'll be.
fun to nerd. It's fun to nerd out in different ways, though, man. I
Oh
get it.
yeah,
I need to learn how to just yeah
I have
get
dreams
that
about
other
setups.
aspect.
That's how, like,
Dreams about set.
I'm not even joking. I've been I've been doing iRacing for like 12 years, and there's nights where I've lost sleep. When I was fighting for the World Championship in 2022, I was waking up at 5 a.m. and being like, I've got a setup idea. I need to go and try it, and I would get up and go to the
Oh
rig
my.
and go and try it, because I'd make a note on my phone and go back to bed, and then when I
Right.
woke up in the morning, that was the first thing I was going to do. I'd get breakfast, get a coffee, boom, go and test it. So
Have you ever had a dream, and maybe it would be a nightmare, where you're building like the perfect setup in your dream, right? And you're clicking the right rear spring and you're doing this, and then you hit apply, and then it says failed tech, and you're like, no.
I I've literally had it with an Indy 500 setup years ago when I was on Apex, and we had like this really fast qualifying setup for the Indy 500, and I was like, right, okay, we're on pole, right? Like, one of my teammates is on pole, but I reckon I can make this quicker. So I'm sitting
Yeah.
there and I'm rubbing the chin, you know, playing with the mouse, and thinking I'll make some changes. And I'm like, right, okay, that looks good. I hit apply, and every single aspect of the camber, ride height, spring rates, all failed tech simultaneously. And I looked at the setup and thought, I can't even rescue this. I don't know what direction I've gone with what. And it was literally like 3 parts of the car had clicked, and everything had failed. Camber, toe, ride height, you name it. The cross weight was all busted,
So there
and
you
I
go.
gave up. I can't do oval setups. Like, credit to those oval guys. I can
Yeah.
only work
Yeah,
in
that's a whole
symmetry. I don't know how they
sure.
do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a whole nother world. Whole nother world. Oh man. Well, this was a lot of fun, Kevin. I really appreciate it. And for those that want to maybe book a session, how do they do that?
So best thing to do is just to join my Discord server. I don't know if I'm allowed to post the link
You
in
can
here.
post whatever you want.
Okay, I appreciate it. Right, let me get the link real quick. Um, so yeah, join my Discord server and just put a message in the coaching request um, in there, and I'll get back to you. Normally, when people put a request, and I will then get um, I'll see the message, then I'll DM the person
Right.
directly
Sure.
to organize like an exact time. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
best way to do it. Through the Discord. There it is. Yep.
that's my
Perfect. Perfect.
Discord link. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Any final tips or tricks or anything you want to throw like a earworm in for us to help us on our sim racing journey? Any 3K drivers out there maybe they can benefit from?
Go and crash more on purpose.
Crash
Just
more on purpose. I love that.
stop, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know,
Yep.
stop driving around in your little comfort zone, hoping that things will you'll magically go quicker, because you won't. Go out there, crash in every single corner you can think of in practice. Go and find the limit for yourself. If you really do want to get quicker, just go and crash more
Yeah.
in practice, not in races.
Yeah. We appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you for doing this. Um, Yeah. Uh, you got another call coming up. We're gonna take all of your advice and we're gonna rewatch the video over and over again, and we're gonna get out there and we're gonna win the 6 hours of the Glen 10th split. I think we can do it, chat.
I have faith. If what I've seen today is anything to go by, you'll be fine. But yeah, no, I just want to say a big thanks for giving me the platform to sort of come on, and big thanks to everyone in chat. Slugger, I saw you posting my Twitch link in there. I really appreciate that, and yeah,
Yeah,
everyone for all the support. I'm only a little small fry compared to Matt with his social media stuff, but it's I'm enjoying kind of building it up and everything. So I do really appreciate the platform, and yeah, having a bit of fun while we've done the coaching as well, and having a bit of a chat. It was
yeah, that was
good
great.
to catch up with you.
Yeah, yeah, good to see you, Kevin. I appreciate it, and we'll see you out on in top split somewhere then, huh?
Hopefully, I might rock up in one of your races on my Smurf account. We'll have a bit of fun that way.
There you go. There you go.
I'll pay you a visit in MX5s.
Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your time, mate. All the best. All right, chat. I'm very, very sorry for not actually being able to read chat. I planned on reading it during the stream, but Matt was like constantly asking questions and talking and stuff, so I didn't really want to like, yeah, talk to you guys while he was talking and then miss the question he was saying. Craig, I did see the gift has come through. I didn't see how many it was for. But no, I really appreciate you guys for like hanging out, even though I wasn't like interacting with you guys or anything. Um, it was 20. Well, Craig, thank you so much for the 20 bum. I don't think Matt does know that my dad is from Kenya. I appreciate the 20 pack, man. I really appreciate that. Thanks for all the follows as well, guys. We've seen like a massive jump in followers as well. So I'm still looking at this camera down here. I'm still using my cam. Oh, my camera's up there. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone jumping over from Matt's stream. Yeah, all you guys were super nice, super accommodating. If anyone has any questions, I'm gonna hang out for like another 15 minutes or so, I think. If people have any questions from Matt's stream that we didn't get to answer on his stream, then feel free to ask them here. Put some music on, and I need a drink because my throat hurts. Oh, nice, Simunaut. Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping. I hope it's useful to you, and you find something from it. Yo, Slugger with 5 gifted. Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I saw you spamming my link in Malone's chat like every 5-10 minutes, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Slugger. I'm very blessed. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You found 1 second? Surely not. Oh, good job. That's one of the hardest things, you know. When is the live coaching? I've just done it, Haiti. I've just done it, bro. Where were you? Where were you? Missed the party. If you want good content, go back to Malone's stream. Yeah, you can watch the VOD if you want. You did find some time. Well, that's good. I'm glad. That's one thing. Like, you know, getting the hearing the knowledge, but then being able to like accept it and then apply it is the hard thing. You were outside. That's a lame excuse. iRacing's UI is super laggy at the minute. Super laggy. How do you get more confident with race pace? Yeah, that's a tough one, Plyn. It's something actually that I'm struggling with a little bit at the moment in race pace, especially with like cold tires. It's just that lack of confidence to like sit it on the edge. What I would say is try loading like an AI race or like a test session and just practice like the first 3 to 5 laps over and over again. Like practice that phase where the tires are coming in and getting up to temperature and getting used to just putting it on the limit so that you can find the limit in that session. Go and crash, get AI out on track with you so you've got like you can kind of trick your brain a little bit to thinking there's cars behind you, you know, so anything to try and increase the pressure almost. But yeah, I would say like do like the first 5 laps of a race over and over and over again on cold tires and really get used to just putting the car on the limit from the get-go. Then the rest of the stint should kind of take care of itself, to be honest. Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the free lesson. You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. Rooting for you and that team you mentioned, mate. Hope it goes well for you in the special. Thank you, Mark and Chosen. I appreciate that, man. We'll do our best. We will do our best. Annie is on Matt Malone's stream. Go online and crash into randoms. I mean, hell yeah. A lot of people follow that advice. Yo, thanks for all the followers, guys. Much appreciated. So, what have I missed? What have I missed? Oh my god. The Discord has exploded. So many new people firing up in the Discord. Welcome on in, everyone. Really appreciate it. I got. There's that many people trying to join my Discord. We got an auto mod safety alert. You guys are. You guys have broke my server. What the fuck? What does that mean? I don't know if you can see that, Craig, in the moderator only channel. 25 joins auctioned within the space of a minute. Yeah, we had like 25 people all click the link at once. Wow. Yeah, it might be raid protection. Yeah, that's true. Actually, Polaris, I didn't think of that. Yeah, yeah, that's very true. Actually, thank you, Craig. Well, we'll see how many more we get. I mean, like we've been on the stream, we've come off now, so it'll probably calm down quite a bit. In terms of like people joining and stuff like that as the link gets buried, but yeah, I know, Haiti. I know. I want to work on the dirt road I rating a little bit, and fuck knows how we're gonna get this up. Genuinely, I want to, but I cannot think how. I want to increase I rating on all of them. I want to get back into oval racing again. I want to, have fun with that. Do the NIS races, the big, long fucking 100 lappers, all that shit. I want to get back into all that. But unfortunately, when you do esports as a job, you don't get to drive for fun anymore. Not in different disciplines anyway. Rallycross with friends. We should actually try and organise like a monstrous SOF in Rallycross. What is the best series in your opinion for grinding sports car I rating? I would say probably GT Sprint, but it comes with the prerequisite of not qualifying mid to back of the pack. Generally, if you are wanting to grind, you want to try and avoid multi-class as much as possible because, like, yeah, you're getting put around more cars more often. So there's just a higher risk with GTPs and LMP2s flying through, lapping you and stuff if you're in a GT3. So yeah, it's always risky with multi-class. Yeah, races that don't require a pit stop are good as well. It removes the element of potentially getting caught speeding in the pit lane. Like P Cup is very good for farming because you get open and fixed and the time schedule lines up quite well. The only downside to P Cup, it may not even apply now to be fair, but it's just the slipstream. Like with how hard it is to actually break away from anyone. In the first lap or two, are you trying to run the lane or are you being conservative due to close proximity of the field? I usually quali mid-pack, so maybe that's just a symptom of the quali spot. Are you running the lane or are you being conservative due to... So, where possible, you want to run the racing lane, obviously, unless you're side by side. So yeah, the racing lane should stay the same from lap 1 to the end of the lap, or the end of the race. But yeah, obviously it just depends on where the cars are. Would you recommend any high-end gear on the cheaper end? Any specific brands like Sim Magic or anything like that? VRS if it's affordable. Sam, I really like the VRS stuff. I don't know kind of what you mean with like cheaper end, like what your budget is, but maybe check out VRS store and just see if there's anything there in your kind of budget range that you're interested in. Yeah, the VRS stuff is very high quality. It's very good, and I've tried the V2 pedals that they've got that they announced a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they're a big step up from the V1s for sure. Budget's 1.3k for a wheelbase and pedals. Okay, yeah, VRS you should be able to get wheelbase and pedals for that, I'd imagine. Yeah, Marked and Chosen's right, the UDFP. Check the price. I don't actually know how much it is off the top of my head, I'll be honest, but... Oi oi! How's it going, Leaf? Yeah, that's true, Hedy. Yeah, with 25 car grid, you still get gains for P2, P3, which is nice, yeah. You're not forced to win all the time. How much are the 3 1-hour sessions? It is 140 £40 for a 3 hour block. Normally it's £60 an hour if you're buying it in just like 1 hour chunks. But you can get basically 3 hours for the price of two and a bit. Do I know the price of the V2s and can I leak something? I roughly know the price point. No confirmed number yet. And I absolutely cannot say anything. I would be taken to the middle of the Pacific and dumped off the side of a cargo ship. Nah, this would be a bit far. But you get the point. DRS would not be best pleased with me if I leaked that. All I can say about the pedals is they are legitimately good. Like really, really fucking good. The price isn't confirmed, but the price I heard is like value for money is. That's all I'll say. Just keep your eye out for when they announce the price. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased with it. Picked up the VRS bundle for $9.99 at Christmas. Very nice. Good choice. The VRS bundle is 1.3k. Ah, okay, okay. Do you tend to stick to one track and series per week versus dipping in and out of different car/track combos? Yeah, like I'll pick a car track combo for that week and stick to it if I'm racing it. Unless like I pick the wrong series that week and there's another series with like massive participation. Alright, Andrew, sounds good. Yeah, sweet. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you see in the Discord, there's like a coaching request channel. You can like request a session in there, and then or you can like DM me. Yeah. The other thing as well is the bundle means you have to drop 1.3k at once, which might not make the parents happy. Yeah, that's true, Sam. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Better than the V1s for sure. And I'd say the cost is, when I got told it, I was surprised. I'll say that much. I was shocked. Right, chat. I think what we'll do is, we're not still coasting with Matt, are we? No, we're not. Okay, cool. I realised I forgot to turn that off. Yeah, as long as you're happy. Exactly. They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a VRS bundle. And that's pretty damn close. Right. I will love yous and leave yous. Thanks again for all the follows, all the support with the gifted subs and everything. Somehow Matt's #1 on the look at this. This is how OP this fucking guy is. This is ridiculous. The whole iRacing category is dead during week 13 and there's Matt. Like, man. If I even get to half of that, like, viewer number consistently, I've completed streaming. I know that's the thing, Fragshot, yeah. If I go AFK for a piss, I'll lose like 50% of my viewers. Matt goes for a piss, still holding 500. But to be fair, Matt's been around forever. Like, he was around when I started sim racing. He was like the first streamer I watched. I remember when he had his rig set up with that Fanatec round wheel and he had the cigarette in one mouth with Roxy in the background chilling. Like, yeah. And he was doing like the those advanced Mazda races that were fucking stacked. I can't remember the name of the guys. There was like Sonny Canchun and guys like that. I don't know if any of you guys that are in chat just now have watched Matt or like remember those races. That's when I started watching Matt. Was like, yeah, he was still smoking cigarettes. He wasn't with Samantha. He had Roxy. He was grinding like advanced MX5s, and it was some of the best racing you'd ever seen. He was like proper sweaty. Really, really good. Good night, Marked and Chosen. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Hopefully, you find a bit of time. You want to get a new rig, but they want you to get car insurance. Okay, I'll go with the car insurance first, and then get the rig after. Yeah, I'm not allowed to piss. Not allowed. Yeah, let's effing go, Adam. Have it. Right, let me quickly check my stream manager, make sure I didn't miss anything. Obviously a bunch of new follows. Yeah, Slugger, thanks again for the 5 gifted. I assume you probably left by now, but thank you again. Craig for the 20 gifted, that's, yeah, really appreciated. Luca for the 3 stream streak as well. Piss yourself, viewers will double. So what we'll do, Johan, yeah? We will do Rock stream. We'll do the next NEC race together, yeah? You do the first 2 hours, and I'll drink a litre of water. At the start of the race, I'll start drinking, and right before I start my stint, I'll piss myself. And we'll turn the pedal cam to a crotch cam. You can just see the puddle gradually build as the stint goes. Johan, thanks for the gifted sub to John as well. I appreciate it. And LPD for sub on the Prime as well. Yeah, be a man. Piss yourself. This will go viral. I think it's got a lot of potential, man. I think this is how we finally topple Matt Malone off the top of iRacing Twitch. Just oh, there's all self-respect. Yeah, if I got a Pampers sponsorship, man, that'd be great. I could get the adult diapers and I can get the other diapers for my son. Two for the price of one, right? Double benefits. Right then, I will. Yeah, lovies and leavies. I'll let you go. I've got a coaching session to go and get ready for in 10 minutes. So I will send you off to Legend himself. Give him some viewers back as a thank you. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a different stream, but you guys still showed up. Mega support, as always. Thank you. Oh, you're all good, Adam. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, have a good night, guys. I'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday for some IMSA races. Get ready for the 6 hour. Streams will be a bit quiet in the lead up to the 6 hour, just it's a big race and there's a lot riding on it, so yeah. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Yeah, don't forget to click the Discord link. Get on in there if you want to book a coaching session or just hang out and chat shit. Feel free. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you soon.